am ashamed. I don't even have the gall to even address it. I swear if they ever came up to me in like real life, like if I ever saw them in person, I would just act like I didn't know them. Hi friends, how is everybody doing today? I just want to let you guys know that I get it, okay? I wear the same articles of clothing in all of my videos. I just kind of like rotate them around because I don't go shopping, I don't buy clothes, and the clothes that I do buy is like not for like video, I guess. I probably should start putting more effort into like my outfits for my videos. So we're gonna start fresh like in the next video. But for today, yes, I'm gonna be wearing the same gray crew neck. I have like multiples of these, okay? So by the way, but even if you don't, who cares? That's why I'm wearing the same crew necks that I always wear because this is just my uniform. But anyway, how's everyone doing? I hope you guys are doing well. Today is my off day, so I wanted to go ahead and give you guys a story time because let me start off by saying this. I'm going to start off by saying this. First things first, I was wrong. Okay, let's just get that out the way in the first 30 seconds of this video. I was wrong. I know my actions were wrong. I get it. This is still a funny story, okay? So just hear me out. All right, so I was on Snapchat because I like going on Snapchat for the memories. It's like funny. And so there was a memory from like years ago. Like this is going on like 8 years ago when I was in high school. And there was this guy that I was really close with. Like, well, okay, just to give a background, my high school experience was something hilarious because it was a suburb. So like the kids weren't bad necessarily. Like, it wasn't gang violence. It wasn't like drugs and stuff like that. It was just the fact that like the kids in my school were so disrespectful in the funniest way. Like I don't even know how to explain it, and if you know, you know. It's just like one of those things. So I was always like videotaping. I was always recording stuff on my Snapchat because back then Snapchat was everything. And so it came up on my story and it reminded me of this guy that I used to be actually very cool with. And we were actually like really close in high school. And then like, this is where there was like a turn of events. It just reminded me of this story. And I was like, you know what? I was cracking up when I was thinking about it. And I was like, I have to make a video because the way I was so unhinged and just, yeah. So let's get into it. There was this guy that I went to high school with and we were really cool. Like, we had classes together. We all just like, it was a group of us in our like broadcasting class, and it was just always good vibes, good times. It was always funny, blah blah blah. It was, I think, our senior year that he didn't come back to our school. I think he did like a middle college thing, or he ended up doing like some sort of alternative schooling. Now, let me just give you like a background on this guy. He was a very carefree, hilarious, like didn't care kind of dude. Like he smoked weed before like any of us did, and he was just like that kind of guy, and he did not care. He was really smart too, but that was the thing that like in our high school, like a lot of the kids there were super smart. They just didn't care about school and like assignments and all that other stuff. So I don't know, I guess that we were all kind of the same. Our class was just different. Me and him, we were super cool, and we just always hung out and everything. And I remember in our junior year of high school, he did tell us that he was looking at like alternative schooling or whatever. And so everybody always said that, but they always came back the next year, so nobody really took it serious. He actually ended up taking it serious and going to this alternative like high school or whatever. So, all right, cool. Like he kind of fell off the face of the earth, whatever. We graduate, life goes on. I'm in cosmetology school. And so this is where the story begins. So I'm in cosmetology school and I'm looking for I'm looking for models. And at the time, he had a little sister who was like, I think 3 or 4 years younger than us. And she followed me on Instagram, and we were kind of like Instagram socials, but like me personally, I never ever liked hanging around or just engaging with people younger than me. I don't know what it was. I always just thought that was weird. If you do it, cool, whatever, like that's your thing. Me personally, I just never hung out or like talked to or like whatever anybody younger than me. It was just not my vibe. So his little sister was one of those girls who she would always comment on my Instagram photos. She would always DM me. She would always be like real cool with me on social media. And I was always nice to her back, but I always kept it at like just being cool on social media, like, you know. But she was actually very like notorious for being friends with, because of her brother, she was friends with a lot of people our age. But like I mentioned, I don't do that. Like, I don't care if I'm super, super cool with your brother. Like, you and I are not in the same age group. We're not friends, you know? Like, I keep it as like you're his little sister. So I was in cosmetology school and I was looking for models for like an all over color. And the thing with his little sister was that she was really known for having really long, thick red hair. That was, y'all know, like in high school, like red hair was just the only thing that anybody knew how to do, okay? Everybody had red hair. So she was actually known for having really long, thick red hair. And when I put on the model thing and I asked for models, she had DM me and she was like, hey, like, I would love to come be your model, yada, yada, yada. Okay, cool. So I didn't think anything of it. I'm like, all right, yeah, girl, like, come over. Let's schedule a time. Let's schedule a day. We can do it, blah, blah, blah. And once again, we were like social media mutual, like cool or whatever, but I was really, really cool with her brother. I had not spoken to her brother since he had left the school, like our junior year or like the end of our junior year. So I'm thinking like, oh my God, like I even told my sister because my sister knew him and like we were all cool. So I was like, oh my God, you'll never believe, like I'm gonna call this boy Carlos. So I was like, you'll never believe, like Carlos's sister is coming to get her hair done by me. And she was like, oh really? What has Carlos been up to? Like, what is his thing? Blah, blah, blah. And I was like, honestly, I don't know, because ever since he left all that like offline schooling or online schooling, you know, I've never seen him ever since then. And so I was like, I'm low-key kind of excited to do his sister's hair because I'm like, I want to chop it up with him and I want to, you know, catch up. So I'm actually like kind of excited to do his little sister's hair. So the day comes and she's like telling me, she's like, hey, I'm in the parking lot, I'm about to walk in. And so I was like, all right, cool. So she comes in with Carlos and we're gonna call this girl Sadie. So Sadie comes in with Carlos and me like thinking like, hey, we were cool, we were, you know, besties in high school. Like, I know that's like kind of weird, but it was just, you know what I mean? If you were really cool with somebody and like y'all didn't have beef and nothing happened, y'all just hadn't seen each other, why would I think anything of it? So when I see him, I'm like, hey, Carlos, like, how have you been? Like, what have you been up to? Blah, blah, blah. Like, I'm so excited to talk to him. I'm like, oh my God, da, 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 you know? Mind you, me and Carlos had been known each other since middle school. So like, we knew who each other was since like middle school and we got really, really close in high school. So, you know, we've been around each other for like some time. We've seen each other grow up. And so now we're actually like grown because we're outside of high school and we're like working into our career path. So I'm thinking we're all just gonna like have this grand old reunion and I'm so excited. And so I'm telling him like, hey, how are you? Like, what is going on? What have you been up to? Like, da da da. I swear to you, like, I was speaking to a completely different person. Like, the way he used to act, okay? And like, mind you, I get it. We all change, we all grow, we all evolve. But like the stark difference, like his whole personality was different. So I'm like all like excited and he's like, hey, like low key, he was acting like he didn't even know me. And that pisses me off. So he's just like, hey, how's it going? Like, yeah, it's nice to see you, like whatever. But it was honestly as if he didn't know me. That's how he was trying to play it. And I'm like, mind you, this is in the lobby. This is in the middle of all these people. So it's like embarrassing. Like, okay, now this is awkward. You're gonna act like you don't know who I am. You're gonna act like, okay, like whatever. So I'm just like, okay, hey, like, so I tell his sister, I was like, all right, Sadie, well, you could come back with me or whatever. And so he comes back there, but you weren't allowed to like have visitors. Like, they did not, I think it was so annoying. You could not have visitors. You could not have an extra person like sitting next to you or nothing like that. So he came back there and then my instructor, y'all know how it was, so quick to tell him like, oh, actually you can't sit back here with her, blah, blah, blah. So she's telling him like, hey, well, I'll just call you when I'm done. And I was like, yeah, no worries. I'm gonna like take good care of your sister. He brushed me off like, anyway, I wish I could explain to you. Like, imagine like, I'm trying to think of like a movie character. Imagine Troy Bolton, right? Just like that guy, like, and not that he was that guy in school, but it's just like, imagine that charismatic, that guy just talking so this, that, and the third, like, turns into Wednesday Addams. Like, it's so weird, like, in just such a short amount of time. So he's just like, okay, yeah, that's cool, like, whatever. So he leaves, and I do his sister's color. Mind you, like, his sister was cool. It wasn't anything crazy. I'm doing the color and we're talking and she's telling me like what she's doing, because mind you, she's like way younger than me, so she's still in high school. And so we're just talking. She's like, oh yeah, this teacher is still this, and we're talking about the teachers and we're talking about the people and we're talking about the sports and blah 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 blah, and we're just having a grand old time. So I'm thinking like we were cool on social media. I was cool. I don't know what happened to your brother, like whatever. And so I'm just, you know, talking to her and I'm like, oh, okay, blah, blah, blah. We're finishing up her hair. So we finish it, and mind you, I hope I still have the pictures, bro. So I finished her hair. It was so cute. It was so sleek and straight. We did a haircut. It was beautiful. We went outside. We took pictures, okay? We took videos, and she's talking this up. She's like, oh my God, I love it. It's so beautiful. You did such a good job. Oh my God. And then she's telling me like, oh, it was so nice to talk to you and meet you finally in person and yada, yada. Like, she's just doing all this stuff that everybody loves to do. I swear to you, if you work in any kind of service industry, it's always the people who are like, I'm gonna leave you a great tip. They never tip. It's always the people that tell you like, oh, is there somewhere that I can leave a survey? Never leave you a survey. Like, it's just, y'all know how it goes. So she's doing all this like, oh my God, I've never had my hair look like this. I never had my hair feel like this, blah, blah, blah. You did so amazing, yada, yada, yada. Talking it up so big. So I'm thinking like, okay, cool. Like, yeah, and this is when I first got into cosmetology school. Like, this is one of my first model days. So I'm just like, oh my God, yes, I'm so happy you like it. La, 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 cool. All right, she leaves. He picks her up. He didn't even get out of the car, nothing, y'all. Like, which, whatever. Like, the vibe was ruined anyway. Like, what I thought we had was no longer there. So they leave. All right, cool. So she's like posting pictures on her Instagram and stuff, and like, not for nothing, like, this is not that big of a deal, but she never tagged me in any of the photos. She's just basically saying that she loves her hair and blah blah blah, and she didn't tag me in not one of them. I tagged her in the photos that I posted of it, and she just nothing, no repost, no story mention, no nothing. Which, you know, that's your life, live it how you will. You're not, you know, you paid for your service. You got your service done with me. There's nothing that you owe me. So, all right, cool. Time goes on. I don't really pay attention to it. Just another, you know, day in the life. Cool. I'm living right. So, mind you, this is when I was first in cosmetology school, and a little bit of time had gone by, but me and Paris like became really close. Like, we started becoming best friends. So mind you, Paris lived in the same, like, we were from the same city. So me and her are like going out to eat all the time. We're texting all the time. We're hanging out all the time. So we're developing like a very close friendship, and we're like really getting into like that best friend status. So Paris used to get her hair done at a certain salon in our city. Mind you, we're all from the same city, okay? So she goes to the salon, and she's, you know, like, we weren't talking or anything. She was just getting her hair done that day. So I was just chilling. I remember this so vividly. It was our days off from school, and I was just chilling in my sister's apartment where I was living at the time, and I was just, you know, living my life. So Paris, by the way, was there when I did this girl's hair, because our stations were right next to each other. So she was there. She's seen the girl's face. She saw the hair that I did. She, you know, she was very much involved within the process. Like, she saw it. So she gives me a text message, and she was like, hey, I'm at the salon with the same girl that you did her red hair. And I was like, oh, really? That's that's cool, I guess. You know, I didn't really think anything of it because like it was in Nashville, so like I didn't expect people to just rebook with me. I didn't expect anything out of model days, to be honest. I just kind of took it for what it was. You probably did your hair with me one time, called it a day. I have plenty of people that just do their hair with me once and that's it. So I didn't think anything of it. I was like, okay, like thanks for sharing, I guess. And so then she texted me, she was like, hey, are you busy? And I was like, no, what's up? So she calls me and she's like, hey, you know that girl that you did her hair, like the red hair? And I was like, the long bright red hair? She's like, yeah. And I was like, yeah, what's up? She was like, she's in the salon that I'm in right now and she's just talking so bad about you. She's literally saying that you messed up her hair, that you got color all over her face, and that you like she was really unhappy with it and that it washed out the next day. And she's just saying all this stuff. And to me, I'm like, first of all, why are you lying? Because one thing about me is like I don't get, like I'm very meticulous about color. I don't get color on people's hairlines. I don't get people, I don't leave you with like some boxy thing. I'm not messy with my color. I'm actually very attentive to like where I place the color so that way it doesn't happen. And I'm like, what is she talking about? Because her hair looks good. Like, what do you mean? So she's telling me this and I'm like, what? And she's like, yeah, I'm just like overhearing this because it's like on the other side of the salon, but like I saw her and like I recognized her and she's just saying that you messed up her hair and that it was just like not a good experience and that she pretended that she liked it so like you wouldn't feel a type of way, and then, you know, she left and that's why she's here to get it fixed. Because mind you, at this point in time, like a while had gone by. Like, it wasn't like, it was enough for like a retouch time. So it wasn't like the next day or the next week, but it was probably like a month or two. So I'm like, what the heck? Like, why would she be talking bad about me? Especially like when it didn't come out that bad or whatever. So I just got curious. And at this time, just by the way, I was a lost soul. Like 2017, 2018 me was just, it didn't take much to get me riled up. Like, I don't really know how to explain it without making myself look so bad, which, I mean, we're here. But it's just like, it didn't take much for you to get a reaction out of me and me to go off on you, pretty much. So I hear what Paris told me and I go to Sadie's Instagram. I look her up and nowhere to be found. So I'm like, what the heck? So then I go to my beauty page and I go to look, because I tagged her on that page. So then I go to look on that and I see like I can't find her. So then I'm like, hey Paris, like look up this Instagram profile. So she looks it up and she sends me the picture. She's like, this is what you're looking for. I'm like, she blocked me. She blocked me. Like, what the heck? And so this was at the time too where like Instagram didn't tell you when you were blocked. It was like, it just didn't show the page. It was something like that where it didn't show like now, you know how like Twitter says like this person blocked you? I don't think Instagram does that. It just shows like 000 or something. Well, I just couldn't find the user. And I don't know if they've updated it since then, but I just specifically remember I was looking up her specific page because I remember I tagged her and I just couldn't find it. So I'm like, oh, you blocked me. Okay, like that's what's up. So I tell her, I'm like, this girl blocked me. And she's like, well, I guess like that's really like, she really didn't like the way that you did her hair and she just didn't want anything to do with you. And I'm like, okay, that's cool. So mind you, I still had her brother who he never posted anymore. He was on a new wave of life. When I tell y'all, this dude used to wear like basketball jerseys, baggy shorts, and Jordans. Like Carlos that was his thing. He was always high. Like he was just, that was him. Now all of a sudden I have seen him on Facebook and he just only wears suits and ties. He goes by his full name. Like it was just like a complete contrast to like who I knew at the time. So like I'm looking up his Instagram And I like, because I remember his Instagram was very specific to his nickname. So I look up his Instagram and I DM him and I'm like, hey, because he hadn't posted on Instagram and he wasn't really active on socials anymore, I didn't even know if he was going to reply. So I like look at him on Instagram and I DM him and I'm like, hey. And so didn't respond for like a little bit. And so at that time, I'm like, has she said anything else? And she was like, yeah, to be honest, she's just been spending this whole time talking really bad about you. And I was like, has she said my name? And she was like, no, she just keeps saying that, like, the girl that did her hair, the girl that did her hair. And I was like, are you sure that that's the girl? She was like, yeah, like, I remember her. I remember her face. Like, I know exactly who this is. So I'm just like, okay, bet. So her brother, Carlos, finally DMs me back on Instagram. And he was like, hey, what's up? And I was like, do you have the same number? And so he sends me his phone number. And y'all, I kid you not, I called this man. And that's why I'm saying, like, I was, whatever. I immediately get this man on the phone. I call him and I'm like, let me tell you something about your sister. I know that you know exactly the type of person I am, and I know that you know that I take my stuff very serious. I don't appreciate your sister getting her hair done by me at a discounted rate, pretending and faking in my face that she likes it, and then going to another salon and talking shit about me to other people. I don't play that, and you know the type of person I am, and you know that I don't play that type of stuff. Your sister has me blocked, so I'm not gonna confront her because I don't have her information, and I doubt you're gonna give it to me. But I just need to let you know that if I see your sister, it's gonna be a problem. I was a psycho. So I tell him that, and he was like, Samantha, what are you talking about? My sister's not even at a salon right now. And I'm like, yes, she is. My best friend is getting her hair done right across from her at the salon, and she's telling me everything that your little sister is saying about me. And he was like, Samantha, no, she's not. Like, she's not at a salon right now. And I'm like, seriously? Like, I get you're trying to, like, stick up for your little sister, but this isn't it right now. And I just don't understand. And then, because, like, I don't know, I just used it as a segue to go off on him, too. Because I was like, I don't even understand what your beef is with me, because you wanted to sit here and act like you didn't even know me when you saw me, knowing that we've known each other for years. We damn near grew up with each other, and now you want to act funny, and your sister's acting funny? Like, y'all are both fake, and I'm so over it. And I'm just letting you know from here on out, like, if I see your sister, it's going to be a problem. And he was like, I mean, it could be a problem. It doesn't even matter because she's not even at the salon. I don't even know what you're talking about, but okay. So I was like, yeah, whatever. I did my little 1-2. I caused my little scene, and I hung up on him. And so I tell Paris, I'm like, girl, not that this man is really trying to sit here and pretend. Like, I confronted him, and he's gonna sit here and be like, oh, his little sister's not even at the salon. And she was like, no, she's definitely is at the salon. I don't understand why he's lying for her. And I'm like, yeah, I don't get it either. And she was like, yeah, she's right here. Why did Paris send me a picture of Sadie? The only thing is, it was in fact not Sadie. She sends me a picture of a girl with red hair. And when I tell you the girl that she sent me the picture of didn't even remotely look close to Sadie. And I was like, Paris, that is not her. And she was like, are you sure? Like, I'm pretty sure this is her. And I'm like, Paris, I literally just went off on this boy because of what you told me about his little sister. And she was like, are you sure that's not her? I'm like, Paris, I know exactly what the girl, like, the girl did not even look remotely close to what family. They didn't even look even similar, okay? They just literally had red hair. And I'm like, and she was like, well, what do you mean you called him? And I was like, I just confronted him and went off about the fact that his little sister was like playing in my face, acting like she liked what I did and was talking bad about me in the salon, just for you to tell me that that's not even her. And she was like, well, why did you go off on him? And I was like, I don't know. No, I had problems. To this day, I don't even know why I even let that get to me. Like, I don't know. I had problems, I'm telling you. So I'm just like, because you're not about to sit here and play in my face, especially like if I like know you or whatever. I don't know. I felt justified at the time, but now I felt stupid because it wasn't even her. Like, if it would have been her, then I would have felt justified at that time. Now it's all stupid. But it's like, at the time, I would have felt like, okay, yes, my feelings are valid. Knowing that it is not even the same person, now I just look dumb and I feel dumb. And I'm like, and Paris was like, well, why did you go off on him? And I'm just like, because you don't do that. And then she was like, well, didn't you say she blocked you? And I'm like, that I can confirm. I don't know why she blocked me. I have no clue why she blocked me to this day, which, I mean, whatever. I've had that happen before too. Like, that's not the only time. And like, that's happened several times where I'll do somebody's hair, they like it, like nothing went wrong, it was nothing crazy, it's actually like pretty simple stuff. After I do their hair, they block me. I don't know. I couldn't tell you why, but I guess it was one of those situations where, yeah, she really did block me, and I still don't know why. But it's not because of her going to another salon and talking shit about me. And so after that, I had to block Carlos because that's embarrassing. Like, I literally went off on him about his little sister, and he was right. It was not her at the salon. And I just went off on the wrong person who was not even talking about me. This is why you should not jump to conclusions. And it's so funny because y'all know I love watching Cosmoholics Anonymous. And she made a video about like the whole mistress thing. And she's saying that like she's a Taurus, and like as a Taurus she has to gather information, and then, you know, she has to have all the facts before she reacts to something. And I even commented on that video, and I'm like, I don't know if it's the Virgo in me, but in certain situations it's act now, ask questions later. In some situations it's worked for me, like in Armando's situation. I used to just lie. I used to like make up stuff. Like, I would throw whatever that would stick, and a lot of times it would give me the answers that I was looking for, and I would be right, but I was completely assuming. I had no factual evidence. I was just saying anything, and I got a good answer. And in some situations it ends up like this, where I look like a fool for going off on somebody and their little sibling, because I didn't have all the facts, and I was just a hothead who needed to relax. Thank God for growth. So yeah, guys, don't be like a younger version of me. I swear, I think back on the things that I used to do, because this is not like the only instance where I would just do stuff, and like, I don't know if I was just at that time just full of hate, and I just regurgitated it out on people. I don't know, but yeah, make better choices than I did, and do not go off on people unless you have the solid facts, because it's embarrassing. And yes, to this day, him and his sister are blocked on my end, because I am ashamed. I don't even have the gall to even address it. I swear, if they ever came up to me in like real life, like if I ever saw them in person, I would just act like I didn't know them, because that's embarrassing. And I feel like if he ever came across this video, because now I'm not joking, I think he's like a Jehovah's Witness or like a preacher. He's like something. He's like really serious and very religious now, and like very into like all this stuff, which is so crazy to me. Me and my sister were talking about that. Like, it's so wild how like we all change. Like, obviously the person you were in high school is not the person you are today, but it's like, hopefully, let's pray. But it's just wild, the drastic differences that happen. But neither here nor there. His religious preferences and the way he lives his lifestyle does not change the fact that I was an idiot, and I went off on him, and there's no taking it back now. So we're just gonna have to commit. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you had a laugh with me. Don't take this serious. I don't need any of the comments. Like, Just take the story for what it is and laugh, okay? Or don't. But anyway, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and I will see you in my next one.